Hello everyone, welcome back to another installation of ADHD. I don't even know what the fuck the name of the show is. Something about ADHD. Oh, I gotta cut that. Damn it. Crap. I can't cuss in the first however long. Whatever. I'll fix that. So, last year, I did a video on Parasite Eve during this time because Parasite Eve is a Christmas game. It takes place around Christmas and then New Year's. So what better way to finish off 2021 with a game series about New Year's and Christmas? So yeah, Parasite Eve, one of my favorite game series of all time. Two more than one, but I still have quite a bit of experience with one. So let's talk about that one first, shall we? You play police officer Ayah, who kind of looks like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII because Parasite Eve was originally a engine test for Final Fantasy VII. So there's that. Ayah is on a date with Dweeby McDweeberson to the opera. She only offered to go, or accepted his invitation because he's a creepo, and he wouldn't stop asking. While at the opera, Ayah is watching a lady on the stage do an old Shakespearean play with incredible special effects because people start catching on fire, and then so does the audience. And Ayah starts noticing, oh, this is bad. People are spontaneously combusting. But why am I not? That's weird. I'm starting to feel like super hot. Not horny. She's not like, oh man, seeing this girl, Maya, on the stage is making me horny. No, she's like, I'm actually burning up. Like when you've had too much coffee and your heart like is beating really fast and you start like getting like, man, I'm heating up, I'm sweating. She goes and tries to stop Maya, who calls herself Eve, from killing people. And then Eve escapes. So Ayah chases her, fights a few monsters with the coolest of FMVs from back in the day. This thing was, still is, amazing. Not to mention the music. My god, the music. Ayah catches up to Eve, and Eve's playing the piano. And then she like grows these like super long, gross finger arms and tries to fight you. And then she escapes again. So Ayah follows her down into the sewers where you have to fight an epic sewer gator. There's something about games around this time. They needed to have sewers and they needed to have gators in them. Resident Evil 2, Parasite Eve, Donkey Kong, and, you know, yeah. So Eve manages to get away. Ayah kills the gator and heads on back where a reporter's like, excuse me, ma'am, could you tell us what happened? Why are you the lone survivor? And then awesome black man friend, David. David? David. Was it David? Why is this the name that always pops into my... Was Dylan? Was it? No. God, that's Dino Crisis. Black guy friend punches the reporter for you. I think his name was David. Something like that. And then y'all go back to the police station. You get yelled at by angry generic police chief. You know the kinds. And sorry, there's something on my desk. And so I haven't played this one as much as the second one. Second one I recall like the back of my penis, but this one I don't. Ooh, you need to go. Ayah goes to the museum I think. And then there's nothing to do at the museum. So you head on back. And then, then David finds out that his wife and son went to the zoo. But that same opera singer was scheduled to play a show there that night. So David's all like, oh,
No, my son. I gotta save my son and my wife, my ex-wife. Gotta save them both.
so Ayah and David head on down there. And sure enough, there's a bunch of dead burn people again. And so David can't go in because his cells start to ignite if he gets too close to Eve. But Ayah's fine, so she runs in to try to stop Eve. And after killing a bunch of the domesticated wildlife inside the zoo, from turtles and monkeys and bears to boomerang throwing fuckos, she heads to the big old stage and watches Eve turn a bunch of people into Smucker's grape jelly jam. Jelly jam.
With a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Bitch.
She chases her again, has to fight 4 of those worm things from Dune, and then there's an epic fight where she's on top of a carriage with a horse that's on fire. It's terrible. But it's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of that scene from Van Helsing, but that came out years later. And then, after that, Ayah and David go to the police station? Yes. They drop off David's son. They go to the police station because they need to figure out, like, where's Eve going next, or where did she come from, and a Japanese scientist named Maeda Inafune? I don't remember his first name, but Maeda. He's awesome. He knows a lot about what's going on because he read the book and watched the movie. Not actually. These are supposed to happen in the same universe. He knows about this thing about this lady who was dying and her husband went crazy and I think tried to bring her back. So he like mutated her cells and her mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell and like inseminated sperm into it, and she became like some kind of psychic god thing and like killed things and him. It's weird. They're all connected. The book and the movie, they're all connected. It's a trip. Maeda explains to Ayah what's going on and how she's kind of connected to everything. I just realized I was wrong. After the carriage crashes, Ayah's unconscious, so David and Maeda take her to the old apartment. And then after introductions and he explains everything, they go to the museum again because they need to examine Ayah's cells, where they see that it's like, holy crap, it's freaking out, yo. And then you get assaulted by some doctor. We'll call him Dr. Dickbag because I don't remember his name at all. Who you'll eventually come to find out experimented on Ayah and her twin sister after a car crash. I believe he transferred her eye into your body, I think, and then the other eye into Maya. No, Maya's your sister. Ayah and Maya. Wait, I think. But you both have her eyes now. And that's what's giving y'all these like crazy psychic powers or something. Because I think Maya was like experimented on or something. Again, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I know I'm very, very wrong. This is just off my recollection as best as I can. This game is convoluted as shit, and trying to piece everything together is difficult. And I haven't even gotten started yet. You just wait till what happens next. So, little David Jr. at the police station is making friends with the dog, and now the dog is freaking out, turning it into a big old freaky monster. So David and Ayah head back to the police station to try to save the day, where you fight a bunch of werewolves and bats, I think. They give you a lot of junk. You need the junk, maybe. Ayah fights her way through. He makes it to the ceiling, or not the ceiling, the roof, where she sees the police chief, Chief Inspector Donut, and David Jr. He tries to protect David Jr. from Sheva, the goddess of destruction, who's now a 3-headed bitch, and Ayah has to take her out. Chief Inspector Donut dies, and then the police station is saved. So after the police station, Ayah needs to go to Chinatown, where there's a bunch of sewers with a bunch of crazy creatures that make you blind by spitting sonic booms in your face. And the reason why they're going down this way is because they know that Eve is she's using her slime or something in the sewers. Oh. Before Chinatown, they go to the hospital. That's what it was. Because they found out, same thing, Ayah needs to, like, inseminate herself with some dude's splooge so she can, like, further her evolution as, like, some kind of psychic goddess. So she legit, like, breaks into a sperm bank and just chugs the cum. Cum chugger, the game. That's terrible. But Ayah sees, like, weird visions of her dead sister because the doctor did some weird shit there too. Ayah confronts Eve on the roof. I keep going to the ceiling. And a giant spider fights Ayah. And then a bunch of, like, jets are like, oh no, the ooze from Ghostbusters 2 is taking over New York again. We gotta take it out. So they fly in close. And then Eve just turns them into splooge inside their cockpit. So one's coming right at Ayah, so she has to jump into, like, that window washing elevator thing before you die. Which, my first playthrough, I couldn't figure it out, and I kept fucking dying, and had to reload my save and fight the spider again, and then fucking die again. It was the worst. You just have to head to the bottom of the screen. And then, finally, you're like, oh no, she got to come. She got it inside of her. Things are bad. So they're like, oh, there's, like, a concentration of human splooge in... I gotta stop calling it that. In the sewer. So we gotta go there, but the easiest way is through Chinatown, I guess. Is there, like, some kind of underlying meaning there? Because that's kind of mean. And you do find Eve down there, and you have to fight. It's the sewers again, so you gotta fight 2 more crocodiles, alligators, surprise. And once you kill them, you stop the slime from like getting into the water supply, I think. And then you're trying to make your way back up. You end up in a subway station. You have to fight a giant centipede thing, which is a pretty cool fight, actually. And then Ayah is like, oh, hey, look, I found a key for the museum for some reason. That's strange. Oh, I remember about the cum now, why she needed it. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go back to the museum because there's some shit going down. So she makes her way back to the museum. You confront the doctor again. I think he dies somehow. I think he catches on fire or some shit. And you have to fight. But I mean, this is like the coolest part in the whole game. The mitochondria slime is taking over the skeletons of the dinosaurs, pissing off Christians all over the world, and becoming enemies. You have to fight a Triceratops and a T-Rex, and it's amazingly cool. Like, the amount of imagination in these enemies is fucking stellar. So after all that, you find out that Eve is, like, trying to basically use her body as a womb to give birth to a god type thing. So all that slime that you've been seeing is basically an amniotic sac for a fetus. I'm not even kidding. Like, it sounds like a joke. I'm not. It's a sac. It's a fucking placenta sac for the god to live. Ayah and a bunch of cool attack choppers go and attack the slime, and then they land on a ship or something, and they're like, hey, good job, you did it, and bad things happen. The fetus is actually born, and you have to fight the fetus. My god, that is such a weird thing to say. You have to fight the fetus. So you fight the fetus, and Maida he's like, this whole time he's like, I need to give Ayah-san these special bullets. They will kill the monster. We have to kill the monster with the special bullets. But the whole time David's like, man, shut up. Stop trying to express your love for Ayah. You just shut up. And then finally he's like, why didn't you tell me before? So while David and Maida are trying to escape in a helicopter while Aya's fighting the fetus, not doing any damage by the way, he pulls the sickest shit out of his ass by jumping out of the fucking helicopter, catches on fire on the way down, throws the bullets to Ayah so she can catch it, and then puts himself out by landing in the water. Which, if his cells are being ignited from the inside, then it wouldn't really matter, because if you're on fire from the outside and you jump in water, it's fine because you're saving it from reaching the dermis and the epidermis or whatever, the layers of skin. But when it starts from the inside, you're kind of fucked regardless. But he lives, it's okay. And so Ayah fights the fetus with these special Maida bullets and just whoops his ass. And then the thing turns into like some weird evolved fetus, and you have to run away as the whole ship explodes. And that's it. It's an amazing game. It's so weird. Like, this is a perfect game for ADHD, because you think I'm making this shit up, but I'm not. I'm not very spot on, but I'm spot on where I need to be. Moving on. It is now 2 years later in San Francisco, and Ayah is now with the FBI, a special group called the Anti-Neomitochondria Team, ANMC, a new American channel. Basically, they find any mitochondria created things, because that's all mitochondria is in this game. It's evolved, like, it's your cells evolving at a rapid rate. So that's what I love about the idea is, if humans were put into an advanced evolutionary stage, what would we look like? What would happen to our bodies? How would our bodies adapt? It's fucking amazing. Play it. But NMCs, neomitochondria creatures, I believe is what they're called. And you're a team that kills them, along with awesome fucking black dude Rupert, who, if they made a movie, fucking Common should play him, like 100%. Oh no, you're sorry, not San Francisco, you're in LA. My bad, sorry. What's the beginning? Aya's in a shooting range with her buddy Piers, who I used to hate, but now I kind of love him. Sunglasses indoors and a ponytail. Love this guy. Ayah shoots, like, she's shooting targets in this epic, like, opening cinematic montage, and then she shoots a little girl, and Pierce is like, yo, what the fuck, dude? And she's like, oh, sorry, man, I'm kind of traumatized with my shit with Maya and my sister and Eve and shit. He's like, no, I get you. And then there's a police call to the Acropolis Towers, where some shit's going down. Police went there, but their whole SWAT team was wiped out. They got to figure out what's going on. So Ayah heads up by herself, and the whole, everything looks great. The backgrounds, I love them. They're so well done. Ayah meets a police officer who's like, freeze! And that's the only voice acting in the entire game. And he gives her a key, locks the door, and he says about, there's a lady in the diner that you have to save. He saw her, but he couldn't get to her. He got the key, but then got injured, so go save her. So you go to save her. You're like, are you okay? Ma'am? And then, like, her hair falls off, and she evolves into, like, a dinosaur-looking thing. Again, amazing FMVs. Like, this game deserves the love for the FMVs. They're fucking amazing.
Sir. Grab me that creature.
But sir, it's an endangered species.
Grab me that creature.
You kill this thing who like just kind of nips at you. Like literally, if you listen to the bite sound effects, it sounds like. That was my chair. While you're cleaning everything out, a thing like pops up on the counter and goes, and then Rupert shoots it with his awesome 44 mongoose, they call it. And he's like, there's probably more in the back. I'll go take care of them. Yeah, go to the phone and tell a boss, like, yo, shit be bad. So he goes ahead. Ayah runs back to the phone, calls up, and he's like, oh, no, we're having another outbreak? Well, that's not good. He's basically Chief Inspector Donut again. And Ayah heads back. Rupert's missing. She goes to a weird fucking church that's in this office building for some reason. The layout of this building makes no sense. Maybe it's a strip mall. I don't know. And some dude named Number 9 is like chewing on his arm. And he's got a really weird laugh. And he's like, ugh, I know you, Eve, and like says some weird shit. You save Rupert, you chase Number 9, you solve a puzzle with a bunch of piranha fish, which you can actually tank if you wanted. It's not recommended, but you can tank it. You just punch in the notes, and you're good. And then once you make it to the top, Number 9 and his fucking gunblade, from Final Fantasy VIII. Remember I said Final Fantasy VII was the game that they built off of Parasite Eve? Well, fucking Final Fantasy VIII is now Parasite Eve 2. How fucking crazy is that? But Number 9's got the gunblade, and he's like, and tries to kill you. You shoot steam valves and him until he gives up. And then he's like, somebody left a bomb in the first floor, bitch, or somewhere. And then they're like, what? So Rupert and Ayah escape the exploding building. And that's literally just the intro. Amazing intro. Now Aya's hearing about some weird facility in the Mojave Desert. And she needs to head down there. So she does by herself again. Because Rupert's like, Mom, my arm's fucked up. I can't help. Sorry. And so she heads down to the Mojave Desert. The whole place is just completely abandoned. She's trying to figure out who's who, what's what, where's anybody. And she meets a dude named Douglas and his dog Flint. Douglas has a fucking fake leg because he blew it off with one of his landmines or something. And he's a pervert because every single time if you look at him, he's looking down at his shotgun like, I just gotta clean my shotgun. Cleaning my shotgun. And as soon as she turns around, he lifts his head up and stares at her ass. I swear to God. Fucking old dirty man.
Sir, please, sir, listen. Don't say it, sir. Don't say it.
Get me that woman.
But Aya's going through and then like trying to figure out like what's going on with the town. Douglas is like, he's like, oh yeah, go ahead and look around, but be careful because there's NMCs all over the place. So Ayah finds this building and she hears a lady screaming, which is the exact same audio clip as the scream from Spider-Man 2002. I think that's when the movie came out. Where the Green Goblin's pretending to be like a damsel in distress in the fire building. I'll show you right here. It's the fucking same exact scream. I always noticed this as a kid and nobody ever fucking believed me. So you head on back and before this you bump into a good looking dude named Kyle Madigan, who later is going to be voiced by our very own lovely Jensen Ackles, which I adore him because he played the Red Hood and Dean. He's on a water tower. You got to help him down, I guess, because he's like, I got chased up here and I got stuck. Help me down. He's kind of a dick, though. You'll see why. You go back to Douglas, you're like, hey, there's a lady screaming in this building. You got a tool I can borrow? He's like, hey, take this monkey wrench. So you take the monkey wrench, find this old bookcase that's bolted to the wall. You undo the bolts, open it, head inside, and the lady that was in there was like, oh my God, my back is split open and I'm spitting out blood. And then Aya's like, why did you kill this woman to number 9? Number 9's like, she was a creature. He's like, I'm just like you. I'm a bounty hunter. And, I'm doing the same as you. I'm saving the world. So you have to fight him again. Who's really easy. Ayah then passes out because she, like, has a psychic freak out and just incinerates number 9. And she has this freak out, sees another flashback of something. Kyle then comes in and puts his gun to her head. I still don't know why. I guess he's supposed to... I know he's a double agent. He's supposed to kill her, but I gotta replay it. I don't remember. I don't know if it was ever really explained. But Ayah wakes up right before he does it and fucking melts his goddamn gun out of his hand. And he's like, sorry, I didn't realize it was you. It's like, yeah, bullshit, dude. Fucking turtleneck wearing dick. And now it's nighttime. You gotta get ready for bed because you're gonna go... Douglas told you he'll tell you where the facility is in the morning. So Ayah does, gets her shit ready. Douglas has a truck for her. She gotta fill up. Because some things called scavengers, who look like gremlins kind of, ate her car. So yeah, she needed his truck. She has to fill it up with gas. And once that's all done, she goes to bed. Where there's a... Everybody knows this scene. Everybody loves this scene. Fucking Ayah in a sexy ass shower scene. And she goes to bed, looking cute as hell. And then wakes up from an earthquake because the whole ground is shaking. Oh no. Goes outside and it's a fucking elephant with a goddamn flamethrower coming out of his mouth. He's called the Burner Boss. Douglas and Flint are downstairs trying to shoot it. They ain't doing shit. So Ayah has to fight the Burner Boss. And there's a few ways that this fight can turn out. If Ayah takes too long, he runs out of gas and he's like, alright, fuck it, bye. Or you kill him, but if you take too long, Flint dies, and then Douglas is really sad. But if you do, which is it's super hard to do on your first playthrough without any of the New Game Plus shit. I say use Necrosis and Energy Shot and a grenade launcher. That might get you. I know this game so fucking well. So if you manage to save Flint, Douglas is like, here, have this M950. It's a fucking 100 round machine pistol that looks fucking stupid, but it's strong, I guess. And then you head over to the facility because she's like, I can't wait, bro, I gotta go. You and Kyle are like fighting a bunch of these things, like camels with faces. They look pretty cool, actually. They have really cool sounds too, like, whoa, whoa. I always like that sound. Kyle then fucks off and he falls down a shit. Ayah has to go through these caves leading to the facility and fight the chaser. They're called chasers, I think. She has to fight like the elder chaser, who turns into a fucking zombie after the first phase of the fight, which is really difficult. But you fuck him up. Find Madigan's gun. She's like, oh no, Madigan's dead. And then finds out there's, a whole fucking facility underneath the Mojave Desert. Holy shit. Where they're doing all kinds of weird mitochondria experiments, which is a really good build-up on the first game. Because the first one is you have this crazy lady who's psychic and who has all this shit, but it's never really, like, it's just her. You gotta, like, chase her, try to stop her from doing her thing. But the second one is, like, there's a whole government system working on this shit, trying to like fuck up the universe. It's crazy. You go through the whole facility and then find you find a girl named Eve who looks just like your sister. Technically she's a clone of Ayah, but specifically Ayah and her sister's eye, get it? Ayah, I. And so it's pretty much like a perfect 50-50 of Ayah and her sister. I forget her sister's name. Maybe it was Maya. But this little girl's called Eve. She has crazy-ass psychic powers, and she's kind of being controlled. Ayah then saves her, heads down to this place called, like, the Neo Arc, I think it's called, which was super confusing to me as a kid, because here in Okinawa, we have a place called Neo Park. So I was like, holy shit, it's real. And she has to kill these NMCs that are, like, basically generators powering the whole facility and causing these things to happen. And on her way back, a bunch of these number 9-esque things. They're called golems, and there's a bunch of different kinds. They all wake up because of the failsafe of the power being cut. And now Ayah has to deal with all these crazy ass... They're basically mini bosses. Every single one of these fuckers is a mini boss, and they are tough. Especially the night golems, the invisible ones. They're pretty cool though once you learn their gimmick. But Ayah has to... I think she eventually finds out that Kyle Madigan's alive. He's not dead. And she makes it through the facility, and she goes outside to this incredible cutscene. I loved this. I still love this cutscene. It's so fucking great. It's the most feel-good moment of the whole game. I'll just play it so you can see. And then Aya's like, oh shit, the military, holy fuck, they're all here to help. And they are. Surprisingly, the military is actually super helpful. If you manage to save Pierce too, they're like even more helpful. But then Ayah goes back in to save Eve, who was kidnapped by number 9 at one point. I don't remember when. A lot of shit happens really fast. Oh my god, I totally skipped something. First time in your facility, blah blah blah. You fight this thing called he's basically like a trash compactor. He's pretty tough. You can squish him, which is really gross. And then you leave, meet up with Madigan. That's how you find out he's alive. Go back to the town to talk to Douglas, and then go back to the facility again and Neo Park and all that shit. That's that. Ayah finds out there's a secret like room that she couldn't get into that she can now get into. So she opens it. Kyle's there with number 9 and Eve, and Kyle shoots you in the arm, and you're like, dude, fucking, but why? He was trying to like buy you some time, I guess, and it's pretty cool. So you go back in, and then some giant fucking before you leave, a giant satellite just shoots a fucking thing into the ground. Kyle loses his leg, and then Eve is, I guess Eve was like inserted into this giant, it's another fetus, I'm not even kidding, it's another fetus where you have to fight another fucking baby, but this fetus is huge. You fight that giant fetus baby he's waiting in a pool of amniotic fluid. This game loves the fluids. You fight it and you kill it, and inside the fetus again evolved, and here's the original Eve again, which is fucking cool as hell. So if you played Parasite Eve 1, you did the whole Chrysler building and found the true ending where Eve is fully evolved and shit like that. I can't explain that. That's too crazy. It's basically the same Eve, which is cool as hell, but not as difficult. I'll give it that. Not as difficult. Still pretty rough. You kill her, you save Eve, and then you find out that your new Chief Inspector Donut was actually working with the bad guys and bad shit. But now Ayah adopts Eve as her sister, which you can't really adopt somebody that, I guess. She just becomes her sister, I guess. And Kyle grows his leg back, and he meets them at the a museum, if you got the good ending. And that's it. That's how Parasite Eve 2 ends. Now on to Parasite Eve 3, the third birthday, which I've never played. If anybody wants to sell me their copy and PSP, I will gladly buy it. I want it so bad. Or PSP, because I think I could buy it on the PSN store. Ooh, Still, here's what I think I know about Parasite Eve: The Third Birthday. The third birthday is the third birth of fucking Eve again. Get it? You see? That's what that is. This game got lambasted a lot for being not great. I still appreciate the fact that it tried something new and tried to keep it fresh, but again, they didn't have to. You could have made it in the same style of 1 or 2, which were both diverse, and it would have been great. But I appreciate them for trying to do something different, but they really over-sexualized Ayah in this one, where her clothes constantly get ripped and she's like pretty much butt naked the whole game. She was gonna have a wedding with Kyle, I think, who, like I said, is voiced by Jensen Ackles, which is pretty cool. And then bad shit happens in nowhere, and you have to fight Eve again. That's all I know. I've stayed away from this game because I don't want to spoil it, because I want to experience the game for real. Again, if anybody wants to sell me their copy, I'd very gladly take it. But that is the entire Parasite Eve franchise, as explained by somebody with ADHD. Hope you enjoyed. I would love to see more Parasite Eve games. As you can tell, I adore this series. There's a lot more that I glossed over that I didn't feel was necessary to ramble on about. I tried to keep it concise and entertaining, which I hope it was. But there's a lot more that I glossed over that kind of for good reason too. I don't want to. I mean, I fucking spoiled the whole thing, but there are a few things that you'd be like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below. I actually should have said this at the beginning of the video. I'll put in a thing or something that's like and subscribe. Hey, give me more recommendations for franchises you'd like to hear me ramble on about with my ADHD, and let's see how good I can do. I gotta start creating like a point system for how well I do with characters' names, locations, chronology, and specifics. Yeah, get some bonus points in there. That would be fun. Actually, that's a great idea. I want to do that. But yeah, again, leave me recommendations. Hit the subscribe button. Help me reach my goal of 1,000. And until the next whatever, I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.